Hello my dear students, how are you all? Hope all of you are fine. So in the last video I discussed about the mutation. Now today we are going to start the next topic of our syllabus, that is pedigree analysis. Actually this pedigree analysis is very much important, okay, especially for the entrance examination. Board examination rarely only questions are asked from the pedigree analysis. But in the entrance examination, this pedigree analysis is very important. So what is the meaning of pedigree analysis, or we can say what is pedigree analysis? We have seen the Mendel experiment in that controlled crosses was possible. Okay, means as per our choice we can make the cross between the two different plants. And then we can study the inheritance pattern also, generation after generation. But do you think that such controlled crosses are possible in the case of human beings also? That we can select two human or two persons from our choice and we can make a cross between them? Practically it is not possible. So this experimentation, we can say experimentation, it is not possible in the case of human population. One more problem is that in the case of human being, the lifespan is very long. Even the scientist who is going to study the analysis or who is going to perform the cross, that is also human only, and till the result is going to come or the one or two progeny is going to study, he will be no more. Okay, means we can say lifespan of human is quite long. Therefore, controlled experimentation and controlled process is not possible in the case of human beings. Okay. Even one more complication is that in the case of human, the number of chromosomes and number of genes present on them is also very much. So the study of genes is not possible actually, practically not possible. Therefore, what is the method to study the inheritance pattern of a trait in the case of human population? That method is nothing but the pedigree analysis. So what is done in the pedigree analysis? We study the inheritance pattern. We study the inheritance pattern of a trait. We study the inheritance pattern of a trait in a family chart, in a family tree, you can say. We study the inheritance pattern of a trait in a family tree. Even though we cannot perform the controlled process, but by seeing the inheritance of a particular trait in a family tree, we can make a possibility of the occurrence of the disease in the coming progenies. Okay, means what are the chances of occurrence of that disease in the coming progenies? That an estimate, or we can say that an analysis we can do by seeing the family tree, and that is nothing but the pedigree analysis. So this is the meaning of the pedigree analysis. So in pedigree analysis we use different symbols. In the board examination, that symbols are very important. Sometimes they are asking symbols only. So that symbols you can see in the NCERT on page number 88. On page number 88 you can see all the symbols are given. Some symbols important if I discuss, like square. This square symbol is used for the male. This circle, it is used for the female. If a horizontal line is there between this square and the circle, it represents the mating. Okay, it represents the mating, or we can say it represents the marriage, because the mating takes place after the marriage only. So this single horizontal line between the square and the circle, this represents the marriage, or we can say this represents the mating. Clear? Now one more thing you should know that I will discuss usually. If two horizontal lines are made like this is very important. This is called as consanguineous mating. This is the normal mating. But this, if two horizontal lines are made, it is called as consanguineous mating. Consanguineous mating means mating between the close relatives. Consanguineous mating is the mating between the close relatives. Okay. So that also should know. Then a vertical line like this this represents the progenies. Okay, and the progenies is represented again in the horizontal line. Then suppose if this is there, means this child is female, the square is the male, female and male. Means we can say these are the parents, they have undergone for the mating, then these are the offsprings or we can say progeny. But out of these four progenies I have shown, which is the first one? So remember in the case of pedigree, the numbering we do from the left side. So this is the first progeny, second one, third one and fourth one. These are the parents and these are the first generation or we can say first progeny. Okay. Then in that diagram on that page you can see sometimes it is shaded also like this. If any of the progeny is shaded or even parents also, like suppose this one. If it is shaded, it represents affected individual. So as she is female, therefore it represents affected female. Affected female. What about this one? It is not shaded, therefore it is normal male. Four progenies are there. In that four progenies you can see this is the affected female. This is the normal female. Normal female. Then this is also normal female. This is normal male. So you can see these are the symbols that are used in the pedigree. Now suppose if here I am going to make like this. What is the meaning of this one? Means this person has undergone marriage with this female, or we can say there is marriage between these two. This is from another family. You can see because its inheritance pattern is not shown. Means it is shown that this is from another family. Then marriage is there, and then two children are born, and both of them are male. So this will be the first generation or second generation. Obviously, this will be the second generation. So I did the first generation. So this fellow has got married, therefore these two will be the second generation, and for these two, this will be their parents. Okay, so this is the basic method of analyzing a family tree. Like this, you can study for multiple generations. Okay, in a family tree. So this is second generation, so third generation also we can study like this. Okay, so this is the basic knowledge of the pedigree analysis. But the most important thing is how we can come to know the disorder. By seeing the pedigree, how we can analyze that which disorder is present in the family. Because we are studying the disorders only. So by seeing the pedigree analysis, by seeing the pedigree, we have to find out the disorder. So how to find the disorder that we will understand. But first, I will discuss about the disorders. So disorders that we can study from pedigree, this is of two types. Broadly will be of two types. So either the disorder will be dominant or it will be recessive. So only two conditions are there. The disorders, broadly we can say either the disorder will be dominant or the disorder will be recessive. Now in the case of dominant also two conditions are there. Whether it is autosomal dominant or X-linked. X-linked or you say sex-linked also. Because sex-linked disorders are of two types, X-linked and Y-linked. Y-linked is very simple and I will discuss. Otherwise mainly we discussed about the X-linked. So dominant, two possibilities are there, whether it will be autosomal dominant or X-linked dominant. Similarly in the case of recessive also, well, either it can be autosomal recessive, or it will be X-linked. Means we can say all the disorders we can classify into four types, these four types. autosomal dominant, X-linked dominant, autosomal recessive or X-linked recessive. So, how to confirm the disease by saying the pedigree? Okay, that we will see with the help of trick. First, I will discuss about the dominant disease. The trick is that if any disorder is transmitted directly from the parents to the offspring, without skipping the generation, there will be no skipping of the generation. If any disease is transferred from parents to offspring, without skipping the generation, undoubtedly that disease will be dominant. Then, what will be the recessive disorder? If any disorder is getting transmitted from parents to offspring, but by skipping the generation means suppose if the parents were normal and their children are affected, so generation is getting skipped because the parents were normal. Means if any disease is transmitted with the skipping of generation, then that disease will be recessive. For example, this is the pedigree. You can see these are the parents. Female is affected, mother is affected. 4 children are there. In that, 1 male is affected and 1 female is affected. So, can you tell me by seeing the pedigree whether the given pedigree is of dominant or recessive? Obviously, it is of dominant because parents are affected and 2 children are also affected. Now, suppose if this is not shaded, this is blank. This is not shaded. Okay, this is blank. Means this female is normal and these 2 children are affected. So here the skipping of generation takes place, therefore the disease will be recessive. So now very easily you can find out whether the disease is dominant or recessive. If there is a skipping of generation like this, the disease will be recessive. If there is no skipping of the generation, the disease will be dominant. Now in the dominant you can see 2 conditions are there. Autosomal or X-linked. How to find whether the disease is autosomal dominant and how to find whether the disease is X-linked dominant. X-linked dominant. So what happens if there is equal distribution of the disease in the male and female offspring? Means if the disease is not skipping the generation and that disease expressed equally in the male and female. This I am stating now. Parents are one of the parent is affected, 2 children are affected, and 1 male and 1 female. So there is equal distribution of the disease among the offspring. So that disease will be autosomal dominant. Autosomal dominant. Then what is X-linked dominant? In the case of X-linked dominant, what will happen? The disease will be transferred to one particular gender. Okay, means suppose if the disease is transferred from male, it is found that the disease will be transferred from an affected male to female offspring. The disease will be transferred from affected male to female offspring. Suppose this I am shading now. And these 2, this will be normal. Means remember here in the case of X-linked dominant, father will never transfer the disease to son. Father will never transfer the disease to son. The affected father will transfer the disease to daughters. Here this mother is normal, okay. So the affected father will transfer the disease to the daughter without skipping the generation. So that disease will be X-linked dominant. Okay, means we can say the X-linked dominant disorder, the chances of disease will be in the case of females. Maximum disease will be spread in the case of females. because male will never transfer the disease to the son. Father will never transfer the disease to the son. So I think this autosomal dominant and X-linked dominant should be clear to you. Now you see the recessive condition. So autosomal recessive, this is the most simple one. There will be skipping of generation and the disease will be transferred equally to the offspring. Means the disease will be transferred equally to the male offspring and the female offspring. That example I will give you. Both are normal and these two are affected. These two are affected. These two are normal. Skipping the generation and male and female are getting equally diseased. Therefore, that disease will be autosomal recessive. Then, how to find out X-linked recessive? Obviously, there will be skipping of generation. Then only a recessive disease will be there. In the case of X-linked recessive disorder, the affected female, very important, the affected female, this is the affected female will transfer the disease to the son. Best example you can see hemophilia and clubhandedness that we will see in the coming discussion. In that is an example of the X-linked recessive disorder. So in that what happened? The female will transfer the disease to the son. Okay. So if that can be one more thing. Suppose if she is using both are normal, therefore this will be recessive. But the disease is expressed only in the males like this. Both these two are normal, that's why it is recessive because skipping of generation takes place. But if the disease is transferred only to the males, then it is sure that disease is X-linked recessive. So these are the tricks by the help of which we can find that inheritance of the disease in a family tree by seeing the pedigree. Now these four disorders I discussed: autosomal dominant, X-linked dominant, autosomal recessive and X-linked recessive. One more disorder that is Y-linked. This is the most simplest one because this Y-linked will be transferred from male to male. It will never occur in female. It will never occur in female. It will never occur in female. Means if any disease is transferred from one generation to next, only in the male that disease is expressed, then that is an example of the Y-linked disorder. Because these genes are present in the Y chromosomes. Okay, and Y chromosome is absent in the case of females. Okay, so this is the method how to find the disorder by seeing the pedigree. Hope this should be clear to you. Very important. Now you can see two examples are given in the NCERT also. On page number 88 you can see two pedigrees are given. Figure 5.14 you can see two pedigrees are given. First pedigree you see female is affected, male is normal, and one son is affected and one daughter is affected. So whether skipping of generation take place or not? No. If skipping of generation does not take place, even you can see the affected female when she get married with normal male, again the disease expressed in the female in the second generation also. So disease is expressed in all the generation. There is equal expression in the male and female. Therefore, this disorder will be autosomal dominant. First one. Second, you can see B1. You can see both the parents are normal. Male and female both are normal. But in the progeny, you can see one son and one daughter. They are affected. Okay. There is equal expression of the disease in male and female, and there is skipping of generation. Therefore, this disorder will be autosomal recessive. So very simple. You can see it is a very simple trick. Okay, just by seeing the pedigree, we can tell the disorder. So hope this two examples also should be clear to you. So this is all for today. Now from tomorrow, means from the next video, I will start the Mendelian disorders. Thank you.